Emma Rodriguez, 32, stood at her granite kitchen counter in her suburban Phoenix apartment, dicing bell peppers for her famous Southwest quinoa bowl, when the doorbell rang. She wiped her hands on a dish towel emblazoned with "Home is where the heart is" and opened the door to find her older sister, Madison, clutching a thick 3-ring binder with color-coded tabs and laminated pages. "We need to finalize your babysitting schedule for Sophia," Madison announced, pushing past Emma without waiting for an invitation. Her designer athleisure outfit perfectly coordinated. Emma's eyebrows shot up. "My what schedule?" she asked, her voice tinged with disbelief as she watched Madison stride into her living room like she owned the place. Madison plopped the binder onto Emma's reclaimed wood coffee table with the authority of a Fortune 500 CEO. "Mondays and Thursdays, you'll have Sophia overnight. Weekends, you cover mornings from 7 to 3. And holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, full days, 8 to 8. She flipped through the meticulously organized pages, pointing at a detailed grid filled with Emma's name in hot pink highlighter. Emma laughed, thinking this had to be some elaborate joke. But Madison's face remained stone-cold serious, her Botox preventing any hint of humor. "Madison, I never agreed to this," Emma said, crossing her arms defensively. "I have a job, a life, a boyfriend in Sweden I'm planning to visit next month." Madison waved her perfectly manicured hand dismissively, her engagement ring catching the afternoon light streaming through Emma's blinds. "You're her Aunt Emma. Family steps up. That's what Americans do, we take care of our own. Oh, and if anyone's reading this story, don't forget to like, comment, and follow for more family content." She winked at an imaginary camera, her social media addiction showing. The next day, Emma's phone exploded with notifications. Madison had posted a professional-looking photo of the binder on Instagram, with a caption that made Emma's blood run cold. "So grateful for my amazing sister Emma, who's basically co-parenting Sophia with me. She's taking over most of the childcare so I can focus on my wellness journey and personal growth. Family forever. Hashtag blessed aunt, hashtag family first, hashtag mom life, hashtag grateful." The post had already garnered over 800 likes and dozens of comments from cousins, aunts, their old high school friends, and even Madison's yoga instructor, all praising Emma as the world's best aunt and such a selfless sister. Emma stared at her screen, absolutely stunned. She immediately called Madison. "Why would you post that? I didn't agree to anything. You're making it look like I'm some kind of live-in nanny." Madison's response was breezy and dismissive. "Mom's already on board with the plan. She says family helps family, especially when someone's struggling like I am. Plus, you're not exactly drowning in social commitments, so this works out perfectly." That evening, their mother, Patricia, called from her retirement community in Scottsdale. "Emma, honey, don't make this harder than it needs to be. Madison's overwhelmed with single motherhood, and you're not doing anything particularly important anyway. This is what families do, we support each other through difficult times." Emma's jaw tightened. Since Sophia's birth 3 years ago, Madison's occasional favors had morphed into entitled demands. The breaking point came during Emma's most critical work presentation of the year. She was presenting quarterly marketing analytics to the board when the conference room door opened. The receptionist mouthed, "Family emergency," looking genuinely concerned. Emma excused herself, heart pounding, only to find Madison in the lobby, Sophia, in her premium stroller, Madison adjusting her gold jewelry. "Perfect timing," Madison said, checking her Apple Watch. "I've got a hot stone massage appointment in 15 minutes. You're literally a lifesaver." Before Emma could protest, Madison handed over the stroller handle and sauntered toward the parking garage in her designer heels. Emma stood frozen in her professional blazer and pencil skirt, holding the stroller in her corporate lobby, her colleagues' eyes boring into her through the glass conference room walls. The humiliation stung, but nothing compared to what happened at her best friend Jessica's wedding. As maid of honor, Emma was in the bridal suite adjusting Jessica's cathedral veil when she heard a familiar baby's cry echoing from the venue's courtyard. Through the window, she saw Madison pushing Sophia's stroller toward the building, talking animatedly on her phone. Emma's heart sank as she realized what was happening. "What are you doing here?" Emma hissed when Madison appeared in the doorway, still on her phone call. Madison handed her a sticky note that read, "Thanks sis, emergency date with someone amazing. You're the best," and immediately left for what she later described on social media as a spontaneous romantic adventure. Emma glanced at Sophia, who was fussing in her stroller, and noticed faint bruises on her tiny arms and what looked like a healing burn mark on her hand. Her heart absolutely shattered. She spent the entire wedding ceremony in a bathroom stall, bouncing a screaming Sophia while her best friend exchanged vows without her maid of honor present. The demands escalated dramatically. Emma would come home from her demanding marketing job to find Patricia on her couch with Sophia, already in her coat. "Oh, perfect, you're here," Patricia would say, grabbing her purse. "I've got book club, then dinner with the girls. You'll manage just fine." She'd leave without a thank you, leaving Sophia in soiled clothes, hungry, and startling at sudden movements like a frightened animal. Emma's heart broke each time she saw Sophia's condition. One night, sipping chamomile tea and watching Sophia sleep fitfully on her couch, Emma muttered to herself, "This isn't helping Sophia, it's enabling Madison's neglect." Her carefully planned life was unraveling. Her boyfriend Lars was in Stockholm, waiting for her long-planned visit. She'd saved for months, taken vacation time, and was supposed to meet his family for the first time. But when she told her family about the trip, Madison smirked knowingly. "You'll have to cancel. I'm going to Miami that week for a wellness retreat. Sophia's with you, obviously." At their monthly family dinner at Patricia's house, Emma looked around the table. Madison's smug grin. Patricia's expectant nod and realized they saw her as nothing more than a doormat. "No," she said, her voice steady and clear. "I'm going to Sweden to see Lars. I'm not watching Sophia. That's final." Madison shrugged, cutting into her organic salmon. "Fine, I'll find someone else. Maybe hire a nanny with the child support money." Patricia sighed dramatically. "You'll come around, Emma. Family always comes first." But Emma felt a chill run down her spine. Something was deeply, fundamentally wrong with this entire situation. That night, she packed for Sweden, triple-checking her passport and tickets. Her alarm was set for 4:30 a.m. for her 8 o'clock flight to Stockholm. At exactly 4:15, a piercing wail outside her door jolted her awake. Heart pounding, she peered through the peephole of her apartment door. Sophia sat alone on the doorstep in nothing but a thin onesie, shivering in the February Arizona cold. A note pinned to her chest read, "Thanks for watching her. Back in a week, XOXO Madison." Emma scooped Sophia into her arms. The toddler's skin like ice, her lips slightly blue. "You're safe now, sweetheart," she whispered, wrapping her in the warmest blanket she could find. She immediately dialed Lars, her voice trembling. "Madison left Sophia on my doorstep. In the cold. I'm missing our flight." Lars didn't hesitate for a second. "I'm booking the next flight to Phoenix. Stay with her. I'll be there by tonight." Emma checked her doorbell camera footage, her hands shaking as she scrolled through the timeline. At 4:12 a.m., Madison had placed Sophia on the step, glanced around to make sure no one was watching, and walked away without knocking or checking if anyone was home. Emma's hands shook as she called Child Protective Services. When the caseworker, Sarah Martinez, arrived and saw Sophia's bruises, the security footage, and her condition underweight, flinching at loud noises, clearly malnourished, she acted swiftly. "This is neglect and endangerment. We're removing her immediately for her safety." Madison texted later from the airport, "How's Sophia? Having the best time?" Emma replied simply, "She's fine," and got a thumbs-up emoji in return. Madison didn't contact her again for 3 weeks. When Madison returned from Miami, tanned and relaxed, she stormed into Emma's apartment using the spare key she'd never returned. "Where's Sophia?" she demanded, her vacation glow quickly fading. Emma stood tall, finding strength she didn't know she had. "She's with CPS. You left her in the cold." "Madison." Madison's face contorted with rage. "You had no right. You've ruined everything. Do you know how this looks on my social media?" Patricia arrived moments later, screaming, "How could you betray your sister? This is family business." Emma played the doorbell footage on her laptop. Silence fell over the room. Patricia stammered. Madison was stressed. "She's a single mom trying her best." Emma's stomach churned. Leaving a child in freezing cold isn't stress. It's abuse. As they argued, Emma texted Sarah, "They're here." Sarah replied immediately, "We're coming. Don't let them take anything." Madison lunged for Sophia's diaper bag. Emma blocked her. "You're not taking it." Madison shoved her hard, and Emma hit her head on the coffee table, vision blurring. The door burst open. Lars, a day early from Sweden. "What's happening?" he roared, helping Emma up. "She pushed me," Emma said, touching the growing knot on her head. Lars stood between them, all 6'3" of him, Get out, or I call the police. Patricia tried to protest. This is family business, young man. Lars's voice was steel. This is abuse. Emma's my family now. He dialed 911. Madison and Patricia fled, Madison yelling, "This isn't over." The harassment intensified dramatically. Unknown numbers called relentlessly, leaving voicemails. "You're tearing our family apart." Deep scratches appeared around Emma's door lock. Her landlord, Tom, inspected them. Someone tried to break in. Get a better security system. Emma installed a high-definition doorbell camera and motion sensors. Days later, it caught Madison lurking outside at 2 a.m., staring at Emma's window. Emma showed Lars the footage, whispering, "She's watching me." Sarah called Emma for a comprehensive interview. "Tell me everything," she said, pen poised over a notepad. Emma detailed the bruises, Sophia's fear, the dirty clothes, Madison's abandonment. Sarah nodded gravely. "This is serious. We're opening a full investigation." Madison texted again. "You cost me my gym membership. Happy now?" Emma was floored. Her sister cared more about spin class than her child. Lars stayed, turning Emma's dining table into a command center, organizing evidence screenshots, voicemails, footage. They scrapped their romantic plans. "We'll have our time," Lars said. "Sophia comes first." Sarah called with devastating news. Madison tested positive for amphetamines. "That explains the erratic behavior," Emma said. Sophia was placed with a foster family trained for neglected children. One evening, Emma found her apartment door ajar. Cushions were flipped, photos faced the wall, books were rearranged spines inward. She backed out and called the police. "It's personal," the officer said. "No proof without indoor cameras." Lars booked a hotel with keycard elevators. "We're not staying here." The next day, Patricia showed up at Emma's office, looking haggard. "You're destroying our family," she pleaded. Emma stood firm. "Sophia's safe. That's what matters." Patricia grabbed her arm, nails biting into her skin. "You're killing Madison." Security escorted Patricia out as she screamed, "Your father would hate you." A coworker left a coffee on Emma's desk, a quiet gesture of support that meant everything. Packages arrived, Sophia's old clothes with notes. She misses her aunt. One held a photo of Sophia crying. Emma's office stepped up. Marcus, the ex-bouncer, receptionist, screened visitors, taping Madison and Patricia's photos under his desk with "Do Not Admit" labels. Madison's ex, Tom, messaged Emma. "I've been fighting for Sophia's custody," he said. At a coffee shop, he showed texts of Madison admitting drug use during pregnancy, photos of Sophia's bruises, and hospital records with flimsy excuses. "She uses child support for her self-trips, clothes. Sophia's just a paycheck." Emma gave him Sarah's contact information. Madison found their hotel, banging on the door, screaming, "You owe me." Her eyes were wild, pupils dilated. Security dragged her away after she dented the door. Lars hired a lawyer, Karen, who reviewed the evidence. "You've got a slam dunk case. 4 restraining orders." At court, Madison's lawyer painted Emma as jealous. Patricia testified Emma was always difficult. Emma presented the footage, texts, photos of the break-in. Lars testified, voice breaking, "I saw Madison shove her. I saw Sophia's fear." The judge issued restraining orders, 500 feet from Emma's home, work, and Sophia. Madison exploded outside. "You'll need me someday." Patricia walked away, eyes cold. Family members piled on online. Cousin Ava posted Emma's childhood photos. "The girl ruining our family." Aunt Susan shared anti-CPS articles. "Emma saved everything." Karen nodded. "This strengthens your case." Sarah called. Tom got emergency custody. She sent a photo of Sophia smiling, clean, happy. Emma cried. "She's safe," but Madison violated the order, trailing Emma in a grocery store. Emma called 911 from the produce aisle. Cameras caught Madison stalking her for 20 minutes. Police added it to the file. Patricia used proxies, relatives, church friends begging Emma to fix things. Emma recorded every call. Her office became a fortress. Her boss, Laura, offered flexible hours. Marcus turned away for relatives in a week. "Your family's got nothing on bar fights," he joked. Lars returned to Sweden, promising, "I'm starting the visa process." A note slid under Emma's door. "You can't hide." The handwriting was Madison's. The camera showed nothing, blind spots. Sarah updated Emma. Sophia was thriving, but Madison was fighting custody, claiming Tom was abusive. Emma wasn't shocked by the desperation and manipulation.